Hey everyone, so this is Maria Martinez here with Lawful Solutions, and I'm here to talk about child support and child custody part 2. Um, to let you guys know who is Lawful Solution. We were originally Conscious Geek, however, it made sense to start rebranding and migrating over to Lawful Solutions in the public. My name is Maria Martinez. I have been through and up through the legal systems dealing with criminal cases and also child custody, and this is why um, legacy is the byproduct. Legacy and freedom is the byproduct of everything that we do, and this is why I talk a lot about business because I deal with a lot of trust, estate, but I help you protect your legacy. And what is your legacy? Your legacy includes your children, your property, your assets, your wealth, your name, your family's name, your royalty, your equity, your businesses, your anything dealing with your assets and your inheritance that you're leaving, your legacy in this earth. And so it deals with your property and all things dealing with you. And I help you protect that from financial predators, narcissists, and corrupted officials and legal tyranny. Just being aware, because a lot of the problems and all the things I had a hard time figuring out how to even market or brand myself, because I speak a lot of truth and I am about spirituality, and I'm going through all of these processes, and it harnessed me to get into my spirituality, and also to really search for the truth, because a lot of things that happened in my life happen because of things that I did not know, and people trying to control me, instill fear in me, and intimidate me, and subjugate me to fear. And I'm just not a person that you can subjugate to fear. I just don't have that mentality. I don't like no one imposing their will on me, or trying to make me be dumb or want me to dumb myself down and so forth, like in those things. And so, yeah, I was dealing with a narcissist. The narcissist was abusive. My daughter, still to this day, is very, 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 very super, has a lot of fear. She is very, very codependent, and so forth. But I lost custody of my daughter because the judge was just pissed off because he tried to impose the fear on me. And I just was like, what do you mean? Like, I was dealing with a narcissist, and it was crazy. But I talk a lot about my story and my background because I understand where you guys are. Narcissists operate in a lot of fear and control tactics and fear, and so it's impossible to deal with a real narcissist, one of the dark, without having legal issues and things of that nature. And so they go hand in hand, because just like the system that tries to instill and intimidate you with fear tactics and bullying tactics and subjugate you to fear, is the same way that the narcissist operates. They subjugate you to fear, and they'll do any and everything to control you and subjugate you to fear, because they operate in fear, under fear, and all of the dark forces of fear. And so they can be very powerful. The weapon will form, it will prosper, it will look like it's prospering, and it will also be prospering, especially when you do not know your power. And hiring an attorney, it does no justice for you, because you need to understand the whole entire legal system, and everything is in the public operates from business. And no attorney can represent a person, a human person, in the human capacity. It's all business. And they are a part of the system of oppression. They are a part of the judges, and the attorneys are all the same organization. They are the same status quota. They are the same organization. They have the same, you know, uh, membership in the bar, and they do not like non-members. And so when you want to win any of these cases, you show up in your proper person. What is your proper person? Propria Persona, not ProSe. This is why you stay away from using all of their forms. You do not use their forms when you are conducting these processes. Whatever you're doing, you use your own forms. That takes away from all these filing fees, because when you use their forms, everything that these people doing are not conducive to your rights. You don't have rights in these courts. These courts operate just off business. And by you knowing the Bill of Rights will open the door to so much deception in the things that these people operate in. You have to understand the whole entire system, because the U.S. corporation slash government, DBA as government, DBA as state of whatever or whatever, they all operate trust law, tax law, commercial law, and accounting. All of it. You have to know all four to understand everything that these people are doing, but it's so much corruption. And so I'm just here to break it down to you. We do provide salute. The website is down right now, but if you need to get into contact with me, you can reach me at Lawful Solutions. All the things that you need to contact me at this time is in the description box. lawfulsolutionsco@gmail.com. The websites will be back up, you guys, soon. I literally hired 2 people to do websites, and I'm still back at square one because I wanted to take it from the old vision to the new vision and implement so many things that will make it so easy and convenient. And I need somebody who understands how to build because I know how to build a basic website. I don't need that. I need, other things. And so anyway, you guys can reach me. I do help you incorporate your businesses. I offer a lot of, I have free templates that I offer to help you guys have an example, because everyone needs to have a jurisdictional document on file. But I also help you under my powerful documents, my powerful paperwork does cost, you guys. I do run a business, and a lot of this stuff I pour and I give you my time and I give you my energy. You may not see me all over the social media because I am an empath. I'm a double 22, and so that it takes a lot of energy. It's very draining when I'm so it's not that I don't have confidence or I lack confidence, because that is not the case at all, ever. It's just that it's super, super draining, and I don't run a social media business. I actually run a real life business. I do have clients that, engage with me and contract with me by either word of mouth. I do a lot of estate planning. I do, a lot of, mostly that I work with is child custody and criminal cases. None in criminal, and I mean like victimless crimes. So, I have court experience. I'm talking to you. I've beat a lot of stuff. And so even, getting rid of child support, all of that. So that is who I've been on child support. I have, gotten rid of all of these things. Something is burning. My daughter is in the kitchen. But anyway, so I'm here, guys, and you have to be patient with me because I do, like I said, run a business. And so I'm not probably won't be like, because I'm trying, my focus right now is to get the websites back up and having everything, exactly, as in the vision that I have for these websites. But so until the meantime, I'm going to put back up, I'm going to have, temporary sites for you guys. So because it's starting to be a little tedious having to go through all these different emails, and I get a lot of emails. But I am here if you guys are going through any type of court issues dealing with your child custody or child support. It doesn't matter what state you're in. They all have the basis. Um, you know, but the biggest thing that that brings you into awareness of all of the fraud and all of the deception is understanding the Bill of Rights. Go to your state website, your state's bylaws, and look up your Bill of Rights. Look up your in Florida, it's under title construction statutes, title 1. You understand that the word person, if you look up the definition of the word person on like Florida, for instance, or the word individual, you understand that the word person includes individuals, children, firms, associations, joint ventures, partnerships, estates, trusts, business trusts, syndicates, fiduciaries, corporations, and all other groups of combinations. Person also means under Florida any other word or term used to designate the applicee? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to. A jurisdiction person as well as a natural person. They try to, that natural person is still not a human person, guys. Understand that the deception. Juristic person includes a firm, a partnership, corporation, union, association, or other organization capable of suing and being sued in a court of law. It's always business. Anytime you hire an attorney, attorney puts you in dishonor. And it is always business. Never are they on your side. It is always business. And also understand you have no rights in these courts. The first thing that I learned, and I learned this from Gene Keating, is the first thing that I ever say when I go into court. The first, before I say anything, when I get up to that mic, I say, I reserve all my rights and waive absolutely none at any time. Sometimes I say it 3 times. I reserve all my rights and waive absolutely none at any time. That puts everybody on notice that I'm invoking all of my rights, because you have no rights in these courts, in these processes. Nothing. They keep you ignorant of the law, and so you have no rights, and you need to understand that. And and so I always say that, and that puts them on alarm. And like, when I first got in there, they tried me. They're gonna challenge you. You got to know what you're talking about. They're gonna challenge you. But when you come in your proper person, don't use their paperwork. File your own paperwork. It is free to file your own paperwork. They cannot charge you. You will see in your Bill of Rights that they don't even have the authority to charge you. And this is why you have to stay away from their forms. You never use their forms. You need to show up because it's they're ProSe forms. They're proceedings to proceed. You're showing up in your proper person. And so this is part 2, guys. I don't want to make these videos long. I'll try to make them under 20 minutes. And I don't want to be like, I want to make this information super, super, super basic. I don't want you to get boggled down in your mind. I don't want you, because you're already dealing with a lot and you're going through these processes. You're stressed out. You have so many other things going on, and you're just like, how do I do this? It's just basic, guys. It's super, super basic. And having these basic knowledge and this basic understanding, that knowing that you are under God's law, not man-made law. You are a human, living, breathing soul being. You're not a corporate fiction franchise, tax agency, insurance company. You're not none of these things. And so I'm just going over some things like, entitled regulation of trade, commerce, investments. They have under estates and trusts. A child includes a person entitled to take a child under this code by interstate succession from the parent whose relationship is involved, and excludes any person who is only a stepchild, a foster child, a grandchild, or more remote descendant. Parent excludes any person who is only a step parent, foster parent, or grandparent. Never use their paperwork. The clerk will try to prevent you. I wrote these notes, guys, so I can stay on task. The clerk will try to prevent you, telling you that you cannot, file the paperwork, or they never seen the paperwork. You make sure that, they don't deny you filing your paperwork. You let them know that, to show them, hey, show me where in the Constitution that tells you're denying me my rights to file my paperwork, and you're not supposed to charge me. I can't file my paperwork. I do not have to use your paperwork. You have to let them know, because these people are told and they're instructed, and so sometimes you have to ask, hey, can I speak to somebody who's been here for years, or tell me where in the law that it shows me that I don't care about your company bylaws. I'm a human being, so you have to enforce your rights, guys. You cannot, you cannot, trust that these people will do what you want. And when you have, if you're not in the specific county and you have to mail them, you make sure you're using your certified mail. You don't have to use a registered mail. You can use certified mail. Make sure you do the return receipt, which is the green card. You make sure you use your because you want to make sure that you're keeping good records all the time. And in your proper person, the documents that you don't file motions, you file petitions, you file affidavits, you file notices, memorandums. You do not file motions. That is public, and that is a part of proceedings. And that's why they say you are pro se, because pro se means to proceed, and they're proceedings with you. You file, you don't file that. You give notice. You tell them, you enforce your rights. You tell them what you do, because this is a part of being independent, being an individualist. This is about in the private domain. This is about privacy. This is about God's law, common law, and your rights. All right, under Florida law, understanding that, I'm going to read some of the constitutional information, guys, so you understand. Under Florida law, it's basic. Your Bill of Rights is under, I forget what section it is, but it's basic rights. Section 2, basic rights. All natural persons, female and male alike, are equal under the law and have inalienable rights. Your inalienable rights is the rights to privacy and freedom and liberty, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty. This is what you're doing, to pursue happiness and be rewarded for industry. That is, of course, Amendment 1 under the Constitution federally. To acquire, possess, and protect property. This is what you're doing, people. No person shall be deprived of any right because of race, religion, natural origin, or physical disability. Section 4. I'm giving you the basics rights based off Florida. This is what you put. These are some of the things you may want to put in your jurisdictional document off the rip, to let them know that you're not under their jurisdiction. You're not, they don't have subject matter, or they don't have personal jurisdiction, letting them know that, basically, no matter where you are in your process, no matter if you are just starting the process, no matter if they've already have a judgment against you and child support has already been issued, right? You want to start these processes, and the quickest way for you to know is to send them I sent them a cease and desist order. And that's how I discovered the fraud, because when I attached all of the stuff in my first jurisdictional document, it was a cease and desist letter, and under the cease and desist, it was basically like an affidavit of truth almost. But it was basically, I put them the case number, the judge, I put all that information. They sent me back, a thing letting them know that I don't even have a case. That case don't exist. They don't know what I'm talking about. And so this is how you uncover the fraud. Freedom of speech and press. You have freedom, of speech and press. You have right to assemble. The people shall have the right to peacefully to assemble, to instruct their representatives, and to petition for redress of grievances. Due process, Section 9 under Florida's due process. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. They deny you your whole due process with these the whole child support, child custody crap. It's automatic. Like, they, like, on so many levels, guys. Due process. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or be twice put in jeopardy for the same offense, or be compelled in any criminal matter to be witness against oneself. Imprisonment of a debt. No person shall be imprisoned for debt except in cases of fraud. This is Section 11. But the whole process, everything that they're doing, like, say that you don't have the money to pay, what do? They still slap you with an attachment lien, which is a warrant basically for your arrest, because you don't have, like, that's all of it is fraud. So when you understand your Constitution and your Bill of Rights, you understand, like, wow, okay, now this starting to make sense. And so this is why I'm giving it to you guys as the basis, guys. Habeas corpus. The writ of habeas corpus shall be granted of right, freely, and without cost. It shall be returnable without delay, and shall never be suspended unless in case of rebellion or invasion. Suspension is essential. Now, this is like towards the end. Like, this, if nothing works and you getting, like, they're like denying you, and then you get to a point where you're doing a habeas corpus, because this is, they are infringing upon your rights to, as far as your children, and they have this awarded judgment that was unlawful for some child support, and it's just crazy. And so it gets deeper, guys, but I want to be very basic on these videos. Section 18, administrative penalties. No administrative agent except the Department of Military Affairs in its appropriately convened court-martial action as provided by law shall impose a sentence of imprisonment, nor shall it impose any other penalty except as provided by law. This is showing you that they put everything under martial law. You're not the state's property. You're not in the military. This is what military people need to understand as well. You are considered an employee, so all of their statutes, codes, and regulations apply to they don't apply to you. They apply to them, to the people that they're employees and people that are in their jurisdiction. You're not in their jurisdiction, but if you don't challenge it, then of course you fall under it. Costs. No person shall charge be with crime shall be compelled to pay costs before a judgment of conviction has become final. They can't charge you to file into a case, guys. Right of privacy. Section 23. Every natural person has the right to be let alone and free from governmental intrusion into the person's private life, except as otherwise provided herein. The section shall not be construed to limit the public's rights of access to public records. Blah, 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 whatever. Department of Revenue, I have that information. You know, this is the order of your process is probably establishment of fraternity. That is probably waived when you're in a divorce. Establishment of support, fraternity and support, child support obligations, and modification. These are the processes that you will be utilizing. Okay, guys, contact us. We have templates. We provide services, resources, on protecting your legacy. And all forms of business forms and so forth, because especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, you shouldn't be working in the system. You should not be utilizing your social security number. There is legal ways to not use a social security number. Legal means CPNs, businesses, even though it's a lot of people don't know how to really deal with CPNs, but there's other creative ways that you can use, that you are not putting your information. There's ways to protect yourself in the privacy, especially when you're dealing with an abusive person, a very controlling person. And so hit me up, lawfulsolutionsco@gmail.com. So the websites are back up. Well, the temporary sites are back up. Hit me up, and if you're going through it, we do provide paperwork. We do have general, like this is why I'm giving you the general template, because off of the information I'm giving you, you can create your own jurisdictional document, and that is absolutely free. But our paperwork does cost, and it's way cheaper than the legal fees. We're not charging a lot of customers I get, they done paid attorney $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000, and now they're contacting us. And so here, we will never charge you that type of money. It's very affordable, but hit me up. I'm here. I'm very passionate about these things. Very passionate about your children, because all children deserve both of their parents, no matter what. And I do understand, the line when you're dealing with a narcissist, very controlling person. I do understand those, special cases, because that requires a whole level, a whole other type of individual, and a whole other type of patience. And, sometimes you have to move a little different, to protect you and your children. And I do understand those times, but all children deserve their parents. And I come from, my grandma and grandpa raised me, and my siblings, and I understand how it, feels to be. I'm very compassionate about children and families, but children, like, they don't deserve it. I know what it feels like to be a stepchild and be, not that person's child, and be abused and, taken advantage of and all of that. So I'm very compassionate when it comes to children and elderly, when it comes to estate planning and things of that nature, because that's just who I am. Everybody else in between, I don't know, but no, you guys, this is something that is very dear to my heart, and being able to bond the families back, together, but anyway, hit me up. I am here protecting legacies. Peace.